Daily life lesson number 1. The real measure of intelligence is action. Everybody can dream, but not many people can actually put in the work. We all know someone who always talks about doing something but never actually does it. Don't be like that. Remember, the smallest actions are worth more than the greatest intentions. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 2. The person whose judgment counts the most in life is the one in the mirror, for you cannot lie to him. You can fool everyone all the time and live your whole life as a fraud, but you cannot be truly happy without satisfying and making proud whoever stares back at you from the glass. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 3. When you think that you can't do something and just won't try, you have an absolute guarantee of failing. But if you think that you're capable of achieving that thing, no matter how incompetent you may be in the matter, there is at least a non-zero chance of succeeding. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 4. Being disciplined basically comes down to choosing between what you want now and what you want most. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 5. Today's episode didn't come out on time because I was in Geneva, a city renowned for watchmaking. If there's one lesson I've learned from watchmaking, is that if you want to shop expensive watches and not look at the price, you have to work and not look at the time. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 6. Today was my birthday, hence the episode coming out late. But it's not because I took the day off. I still work on my different projects because it's something that I enjoy, and more importantly, I know that it's bringing me closer to my goals. So I wouldn't want to take the day off. The lesson is this: if you enjoy and believe in whatever is it that you're doing, don't force yourself to take breaks, and don't be afraid to be obsessed and work 60, 80 or 100 hours per week on it. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 7. Whenever you find yourself thinking you can't do it anymore, just try one last time. If whenever you're tempted to give up, you go for one more, and then one more again, you'll be surprised by how far you can get. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 8. The right moment to plant a tree was 50 years ago. By now, it would have been grown. Since you can't go back in time, the best moment is today. This is not about trees. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 9. Whenever you're feeling down, when you're supposed to be working, remember that daily ups and downs won't matter in the end as long as you continue doing what you're supposed to do. And in fact, those small periods where you would have preferred doing something else, but you continued working, will add up and can make quite a difference. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 10. I found a lot of young people nowadays spending more and more time on social media. They're essentially wasting time and being spectators. If you want to waste your time, at least try to be actively doing something, not just watching. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 11. It is often said that you must choose to suffer from either one of two pain, discipline or regret. I find that very true, and a simple example is either going to sleep on time, the pain of discipline, or waking up feeling really tired the next morning, the pain of regret. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 12. In the end, we are all food for worms. So you shouldn't be waiting on a specific event, let's say a promotion, to start living and to feel happy. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 13. Patience is one of the most valuable skills you can have. A surprisingly high proportion of failures in this world simply come from a lack of patience. So make sure to master it. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 14. If you want to be above average, then logically you shouldn't take the path the average person takes. And you shouldn't be surprised if you're taking this path alone. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 15. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people saying that money can't buy happiness. Here's the thing though. Poverty can't buy anything at all. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 16. A big part of discipline is doing something when you want to. Anyone can do something when it's pleasant, but it's consistency that will get you ahead of a lot of people. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 17. I prefer the new iPhone Air to the new iPhone 17. It might not be the better of the two, but it's new, and it's always better to innovate than to reiterate. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 18. Wearing expensive clothing isn't really a sign of wealth. If you're really that wealthy, then your car or maybe your watch will already show it. And extremely wealthy people, in fact, don't need to show their wealth at all because they're already known for it. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 19. The purpose of life is to live, not to exist. Don't waste time thinking about what you could have done, but rather focus on what you can still do. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 20. There are so many distractions in this life that prevent from quality of thought. but beware, because it is quality and not quantity that counts. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 21. Today I was sick and I thought about not making this video, but I figured that, well, making those daily life lessons only takes about 5 minutes per day, but it can go a long way into making my channel grow. So the lesson is this: small efforts compounded daily can make a big difference in the end. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 22. Generally, happiness doesn't come from really possessing, but from doing. A lot of young and successful people could retire at a young age, but they choose not to because they know that eventually they just get tired of relaxing in a luxurious mansion all day. So the lesson is this: if you ever find yourself unhappy, try action. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 23. It's more important to be competent than to be nice. A lot of management methods may not be the nicest, but in the end, they're the one that push the employee the most, and thus they're the one that add the more value to society and contribute the most to humanity. So up to a certain extent, the right thing to do may not be the nicest. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 24. Sacrifice, when it comes to saving time, is not cutting off something that you quite liked but figured out wasn't too important. It's saying no to things that you really believed in and enjoyed and deeply thought that were going to be useful, but you figured that your other priorities were just too important. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 25. Yesterday I completely forgot to make a daily life lesson, but instead of getting too mad at myself, I remembered the following quote from Einstein: "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep balance, you must keep moving." The lesson is, don't focus too much on your past mistake, but instead focus on what you can do for the future. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 26. Getting out of bed when your alarm goes off at 7 a.m. is painful, but waking up at noon because you hit snooze on your 7 a.m. alarm is even more painful. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 27. The truth is, when life gets hard, it usually gets worse before it gets better. But never forget that this implies that it will get better eventually, and this is the part that you should focus on. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 28. Whether it's sooner or later, it is vital to forgive, because otherwise, an eye for an eye just makes everyone blind in the end, and well, what good is that for? See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 29. Today is a beautiful day, but I don't think I would appreciate it as much if it wasn't for the occasional rainy and cold days. So the lesson is this: happiness only comes from contrast with other emotions, and thus you shouldn't expect to always be happy. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 30. If you aren't sometimes failing or occasionally having difficulties, chances are you're not trying hard enough or your task is too easy. You shouldn't expect to always succeed, just to succeed more often than not. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 31. It's usually better to dress too formal than not formal enough. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 32. When it comes to doing something, there are two types of people: those who think they can and those who think they can't. The truth is, they are both right. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 33. While systematic optimism about everything is naive and mostly wrong, it is important to expect the future to get better. If you don't think that things will at least eventually improve, then it's pretty depressing, and that doesn't give much worth living for. See you tomorrow. Daily life lesson number 34. A good way to evaluate whether something was worth doing or not is asking yourself a couple of days later, how much do you remember of it? Generally, you'll have little to no memories of what you watched on YouTube last week, but you'll recall an activity that you found interesting or at least useful. See you tomorrow.